you.
Well, 6 days to go before voters to the polls in Wisconsin. That's where they'll be, and maybe that's what Governor Scott Walker is looking forward to, that he survives that moment. Leading right now in polls, but GOP officials are warning voters not to get complacent in Wisconsin, saying they expect the polls to tighten as the race nears. Enter one Michael Reagan.
Governor Scott Walker is turning Wisconsin around, and no less than Ronald Reagan's son has taken note of his efforts.
We need leaders like Scott Walker. He's a reminder of somebody named Reagan from a long time ago. Scott Walker, because of what he's doing, has turned a negative into a positive, bringing businesses back to Wisconsin, getting people back to work in Wisconsin. Why in the world would the people of Wisconsin want to go back to those days of yesteryear when the budget was out of control, jobs were not available, is beyond me.
That's a big endorsement. We're going to go talk to Michael in a second, but just a reminder, we're broadcasting live from Wisconsin next Monday and Tuesday as we interview Governor Walker on this before they start counting the votes. We'll be doing all of this at a brand new time next week because my Fox Business show will start airing 8 p.m. Eastern Time. More on that in a second. Before all of that, Michael Reagan now on why he's speaking out right now. Why now, Michael? I mean, your voice carries some clout in that state. Why now?
It's important. I mean, listen, the story you just did about what's going on in Europe, if indeed the unions win this battle against Scott Walker, you're not going to see any governors of any state in this country go up against the unions again. I sit in California. We have a $59 billion deficit in the pension fund with what's going on in education, the teachers fund. Our governor here, our state assembly, will not do anything to stop it if indeed what happens in Wisconsin is that the governor is ousted out of that state. It is a huge race, what is going on in Wisconsin. And I'll tell you, if Scott Walker does not live through this to see another day, you're going to see the United States of America going the way of Greece and Spain.
Is it your sense here that, let's say your dad were alive and you were witnessing what's going on in Wisconsin right now, the rap against Governor Walker is not so much with his tough medicine, but the way he's administered it. Your dad had a nicer kind of a style. That's saying nothing against Governor Walker. Does that matter? Should it matter?
No, I think they do business differently in the Midwest, trust me, than they do out here in California and other places. A guy who used to be in the boat business, I know the difference readily on that. But he had to make tough decisions. Remember, they elected him to make those tough decisions. They were over $3 billion in debt. By 2013, there'll be $154 million surplus in that state. 23,000 jobs in 2011 brought in, 10,000 jobs in 2012. I mean, he's lowered or stopped property taxes from going forward. He has done everything he said he would do, and the unions are up in arms. This is a battle between the leadership of Scott Walker and the unions in that state, and we cannot afford, the country cannot afford for the unions to win.
If Walker survives this, is Wisconsin in play?
Wisconsin's certainly in play for 2012 for this election year. But there's going to be a lot of other places that are going to be in play also. You're going to find a lot of other states are going to feel that their jackets have been taken off, and once they could go out and fight these unions and get their states back to a surplus from, in fact, the problems that they've had over all these many, many years. Look at California, look at New York, right. Look at all these states that, in fact, are in the rears because of unions who have controlled those states for too long.
Michael, thank you very much. Michael Reagan.